Okay, so in this video we're going to be talking about the opt-in and setting up our opt-in form page. Now, as I go through this funnel setup process, as we say in the video before we actually on the funnels, I'm not going to be focusing on hyper-optimization in our first go right here. What we're just going to focus on is getting the funnel up and working. Then when the funnel's done, we're going to start applying hyper-optimizations. We're going to start from top to bottom. However, we need to have traffic going through and we need to have a bunch of different things happening to really focus around hyper optimization. So this is the end of this. So don't focus on optimizing, split testing, or doing any of this right now. Focus on understanding what I'm doing. So this is the opt-in that I use for all my 2K webinars. I encourage you to try other type of opt-in themes later on, but this thing has worked for me over and over and over again. I've split tested against hundreds of other things. You're getting the most evolved version of my webinar opt-ins after 3 years of testing. So this is probably going to be a good place to start off at. If you want to go bonkers later. Let's start with sane. So let's talk about how this page is set up. And we also want to have our triple diamond laid out right here, since the 2K is usually what we're going to be using for triple diamond webinars. When we're using this page, we're mostly going to be focusing on D2 levels. So leading up to our events, we're usually going to be focusing on the big promise and then D2s. Okay, this is what we're going to be doing right here. We're not really going to get people to opt in using D1 level pains, because people don't opt in for pain. They don't want to opt in and see how terrible everything is. We need to get them. That's where we're going to deliver these when we really start getting into the sales videos and the webinar itself. We also don't want to be mentioning D3 too much, because this is going to tip them off on what we're doing and kill the new opportunity. It is also going to confuse them if we mention or use any buzzwords. So if I start talking about e-commerce or anything, it's not going to work. So let's look at how this page works. It's a very simple format. So the first line has to always be that's 100% free and what it is. So I like to use live online workshop, that it's free. And then use something like shows, teaches, trains. That's what we're going to have in the first line. So what it is, that it's free. Now, the next big line right here is going to be the big promise. And we're going to use many different variations of this. The first headline we make is probably not going to be our highest converting. And this headline right here is going to have the most impact on the page's conversions. Now, the thing that will actually control your page's conversions the most is the ad going into the page. I will actually show you how when we get the ads, that's where the opt-in rates really go up and down. By optimizing this page to the same exact ads and optimizing the headline, we're really going to see opt-in rates only go up 5 to 10%, so maybe from 20 to 30%, which is absolutely huge. But again, it's all about the ad copy leading to the opt-in. Okay, that's what gets people enticed to click in the first place and dig in. So the first line is always going to be your big promise in this format. Something that's simple and repeatable, the result that it got, and how fast it got it in. That's it. That's a process. So a 3-step process, something that's simple and repeatable. The result it got, it built a 5-figure a month online store. Again, you can notice that I'm not revealing how we're doing it. It's a new opportunity in 20 days. Simple, repeatable, result it got, time frame, based around the big promise. And then the second line right here, without the things they hate. So what are the things they hate? Well, we can go look at D2, hard cost, tech skills. Without hard cost or techie stuff. So this is usually going to be their limiting beliefs, the things that they don't like. Usually their limiting beliefs are based around things they don't like. Next, we're also going to offer some type of bonus. A checklist is usually great. What I offer on the Hyros event, for example, is a YouTube course. Something that they would also really like. So their goal right here is to make money, so I have a $100 a day checklist. And then get free training. Okay, so get the free training plus a $100 a day checklist. And your email to get started. Now, I always like to have an 8-minute countdown right here showing when the next live stream begins. This is not set to any specific time right here. All this does is create some sense of urgency, like it's starting now. Now, you're going to be using the EverWebinar basic opt-in, which is just a code that you grab from EverWebinar itself and you paste right here. Looks a little bit different than this, but this is a custom HTML form that I have right here, and you can see the person then signs up If they're on desktop, they're going to sign up for the next just-in-time webinar, which starts every 15 minutes. Now, if they're on mobile phone, let's refresh this. They will have a wider range, which I've just condensed it so it responds to the screen dimensions. You can see they have a wider range because most people, if a person's checking out at the grocery store and on their mobile phone, I don't want them trying to attend the webinar. All right, so we offer them different times. So these different times actually convert really well, and so this is what we do for mobile phones. So that's how we use that. Now, this stuff down here isn't going to make or break the webinar, so I wouldn't overthink it too much. However, we're going to use a picture of ourselves looking semi-professional. Then what we're going to use is the exact D2 beliefs right here. How we do this with zero technical experience, that's D1. How we make money from these stores selling other people's products with no upfront investment. No hard costs, it's safe. And this is also right here, it's easy to understand and do. I will sometimes pull from D3 because as long as it doesn't reveal what we're doing. And a simple 3-step store launching process we use to get customers in stores cheaply. So it's easy, okay? Results are fast, it's easy to understand and do. And again, without the things they hate. They don't like hard costs. They don't like hard costs. They don't like hard costs, and they don't want to do technical skills. Opt in again. You can also put a Facebook like box right here just to show people like it. This is actually really powerful when you use this. If you have a semi-big following, because it's going to show a lot of people's friends to each other. Now, that being said, this is not going to make or break anything. Having this box right here and absolutely nailing these is not going to make or break the form. And then we're just going to have a simple call to action right here. On mobile, we don't have any of that. We just have headline, get on there. That's it. And this is everything that goes into the opt-in. This is exactly how we will structure this. It's exactly how we structure this. Now, we want to have a disclaimer down here for Facebook. We want to have our legal everything right here. We need a contact terms of service and privacy. That being said, this is pretty simple, rudimentary stuff. This will not affect opt-ins. This is just getting it so Facebook won't knock us off. This is also going to be very important with AdWords. You can see this star right here. Whenever we make claims, we put a star right here, and we link it to the bottom with a disclaimer. So anything that has a promise, we need to link it to a disclaimer. This is what AdWords is really focused on. So these stars right here, anytime you promise something, put a star next to it, or an asterisk, and you link it down to this. And this is exactly how we will set up the opt-in forms. Again, we'll get into hyper-optimization of these forms later on, but this is how the form is set up. Again, the download for this form template, you will not have this same HTML form right here, but you can get everything else out there when we get into the EverWebinar setup. This is going to be in the template area right here inside of this. And this is how we will work with this opt-in, and this is how to set it up. Again, go back through this video. I broke down the exact way to make this headline, the exact thing to put right here, the exact thing to put right here. Follow this blueprint right here. I encourage you, if you want to, get crazy later on, but don't get crazy right now. Let's keep it super duper simple. Okay? So this is how the opt-in is set up.